everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I am pretty tired, but had a fantastic weekend just getting back from Kentucky and Illinois and Tennessee. And I did that all in very short time frame. So I'm kind of tired, but excited to be on here talking to you guys about a vision that God gave me. And so let me tell you the title of this, and then we'll hop into the vision itself. So the title of this is It's Not Dead, It's Just Playing Possum. Okay. Now, if you're not from the South, you probably have no idea what that term means. It's something that, we know kind of around here. And all it means is, when something plays possum, quote unquote, it means that it is pretending to be dead. Possums, whenever they perceive a threat that's coming towards them, maybe it's out of a place of fear, whatever, they will pretend to play dead, quote unquote, pretend to take themselves off the map, off the radar, so to speak, because they don't want to get hurt, right? And so if a predator or something comes up and they look at the possum and it looks like it's dead, they're less likely to eat the possum or to harm the possum because they assume that it's already gone, right? And so that's what possums do. So let me talk you guys through the practical application of this vision. So in this vision, it was a very simple one, and it was of this guy. I did not know this person. It just represented a generic person, okay? And he was pretending to be dead in this vision. It wasn't gruesome. It wasn't gory. It was just, a picture of a guy who was pretending to be dead. Almost like, how kids pretend, right? It was kind of one of those scenarios where he was like pretending to be dead. And he was being very still and trying not to move and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden you saw one eyeball like slightly open up, and then he shut it really fast. And he was trying to make it look like he wasn't breathing by all of that stuff. And so that was it. That was the whole vision. And God immediately spoke to me and said that this was a word that I needed to get out to you guys. And there were kind of two coins to this, and I'm going to do my best to try to describe this, but I will probably butcher it. So hang with me, I'll try. But it's almost like this vision, I could see two different people's perspective of the same vision. And so that's what I'm going to try to talk you guys through because it's hard to explain. All right. But the primary concept behind this vision was it's not dead. Okay. So there are going to be some things in your life that you thought were dead that are going to experience divine resurrection in this season. Amen. Some things that God brings back to life for those of you who this word is for. So let me try to describe the first part of the vision first, and then I'll describe the other side. So the first person's perspective of viewing this encounter or whatever this was, is this is a person who had been in a slumber for a long time in their life, dealt with a lot of things, come through a lot of things. And they were staring at what looked like this dead situation in the natural. Okay. And all of a sudden, for the first time, they noticed a little bit of life. Like when that guy opened up his eyes, just the one eye in the vision, it's like they noticed some life and they went, God, this has been alive the whole time. And it just blew their mind. They were like, what the heck? And God was showing them that it was alive for a reason because there were action steps that they needed to take. There were things they needed to take care of. Amen. And so that was the first perspective of the first person. Okay. It's like they had been in this place where they didn't see it. It wasn't even on their radar. And it's like God woke them up to notice the fact that this thing was not dead. But the devil was trying to convince them that it was dead by looking at all this stuff in the natural. And God's going, no, I'm showing you that it's awake for a reason. Now go do what I'm telling you to do. Okay. That was person one's perspective. Person two's perspective was similar but different in different ways. So person two had known that this thing was dead, let me back up. Person two had known that this thing was alive the entire time. It's almost like this guy had been laying there for ages. Okay. I don't know how to describe this to you, but it's like person two had seen this the entire time. They had seen the deadness. They had seen, pretending to be dead, and they had seen that this thing was alive the entire time. It's almost like they were completely filled in on the God situation, the God report of whatever that is. But they had become so hopeless on, this thing because they're in their natural sight. They were looking at just nothing but being dead. Right. Okay. So this is person number two's perspective on this. And, they were convinced, the devil was trying to convince them of the same thing of the other person. It's dead, right? He was trying to convince them of the exact same things, but from two very different perspectives. And so this person, when they were staring at the situation, had just gotten so hopeless because it had looked dead for so long. And God was telling them to go back, and he was going, no, look through spiritual eyes. Look through spiritual eyes at this situation. What I've been telling you all along is correct. It is alive. It is a thing. Amen. And so again, it represents divine resurrection. You know, what God was showing me is that these situations are not going to be playing possum very long. Amen. The whole reason God was highlighting the fact that it was alive is because it's about time for movement to start happening in some of these things. Amen. And so, again, I don't know who this word is for, but I came to tell you that don't just go by what you're seeing in the natural right now. Don't just go by the enemy report. What's crazy is the enemy was trying to skew both perceptions of the exact same thing right now in this moment. He was trying to convince both perceptions that the thing was dead. And God was saying the exact opposite. It's alive. It's alive, right? And so believe the God report. You know, it makes me think of Ezekiel in the valley of dry bones. God was like, prophesy to it. Tell the God report to that situation. Some of you guys have gotten so discouraged in a past season that you haven't seen that that thing really is alive in the spirit, that what God is saying really is true. And you're letting what the natural is saying dictate more than what the spirit is saying over that situation. And God's going, it's just playing possum. You know, think of it that way. It's putting on an act. It's putting on a show. It's not really the way that you see it. There's so much more going on behind the scenes that you don't know about, that you don't see behind these situations. And so I want to encourage you guys today, don't give up. If God says something has life behind it, it has life behind it, ladies and gents. And I don't care what the devil's trying to show you in the natural. It's just something that's going to be a temporary thing. And then you're going to step into this place where that thing's going to come alive, quote unquote. And you're going to be able to step into whatever that promise, whatever that blessing, whatever that situation represents. Amen. So it's alive. Decree the God report over that thing. Amen. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll chat with you again soon.